though. Misunderstood, you can call me a typo. I shine hotter than the stars in the night though. Hate the who's, don't give me a title. Flipping an asset, so I don't worry the price though. Got scratched like mine, no, leave it to the tribal. I ain't even trying to try though. I can do this with my eyes closed. If I got nothing on my goals, my girl ain't plastic, she don't even recycle. All these kids just wanna be idols. All these kids just wanna be rival. I need something way more than viral. I need something way more than viral. Gotta be something way more than idol. Be careful not to get too close, I might just go. Might just go.
In the room, blow up the spot, everybody gotta move. Life or death, everybody gotta choose. Life or death, not everybody gotta lose. I hear the talking, I just keep quiet. Learn to speak silent, don't yearn for violence. Was a little man, I turned into a giant. I changed the climate, every room that I'm in. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the baddest son of them all? Popping like I'm Adderall, bouncing like a basketball. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the baddest son of them all? Popping like I'm Adderall.
Be careful not to get too close, I might just go. Might just go. Might just go. We like to go. We like to go. Might just go. We like to go. We like to go. A few screws loose in the head, I'm a psycho. Promise you the bar just as real as the bite though. Misunderstood, you can call me a typo. I shine hotter than the stars in the night though. Hate the who's, don't give me a title. Flipping an asset, so I don't worry the price though. Got scratched like mine, no, leave it to the tribal. I ain't even trying to try though. I can do this with my eyes closed. If I got nothing on my goals, my girl ain't plastic, she don't even recycle. All these kids just wanna be idols. All these kids just wanna be rival. I need something way more than viral. I need something way more than viral. Gotta be something way more than idol. Be careful not to get too close, I might just go. Might just go.
Like a bomb in the room, blow up the spot, everybody gotta move. Life or death, everybody gotta choose. Life or death, not everybody gotta lose. I hear the talking, I just keep quiet. Learn to speak silent, don't yearn for violence. Was a little man, I turned into a giant. I changed the climate, every room that I'm in. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the baddest son of them all? Popping like I'm Adderall, bouncing like a basketball. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the baddest son of them all? Popping like I'm Adderall.
Be careful not to get too close, I might just go. Might just go. Might just go. just go.
Something way more than idol.
Be careful not to get too close, I might just go.
Beyond the narrative. Beyond the narrative. Best in class, so pray for my peers. Slingshot bullet that's clear. Your weak shots couldn't pierce through bulletproof ears. A martyr, a menace. I'm leading horses to drink and pulling teeth like I'm feeding the dentist. Beyond the narrative.
Thank you for watching our show. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to stay up to date with all of our content. Welcome to another episode of The Crossover. Happy to be back with you fellas.
Yes, sir.
Was off again. I promise no more PTO. I've used all of it, but
You deserve it, champ. You deserve it.
I was ready to swim back day 6 of that trip, but you know.
We missed you, bro.
I missed you guys too. Missed you guys too. Let me bring in our sponsor. Today's episode is brought to you by BTN Connect, powered by Athlete Narrative, the all-in-one recruiting platform helping athletes get seen, get signed, and get to the next level. Gentlemen, so the finals, we'll get into game 1, but last night, OKC bounced back, really put it on the Pacers, which I had a feeling was going to happen. That line was -11, and I thought it wasn't enough for the type of game that was going to be. So, KD, what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, my thoughts are I feel like Oklahoma City is going to win in 6. Obviously, the Pacers are a worthy opponent, so you can't sleep on them. Haliburton made a hell of a shot, in that game 1. He's a clutch player. He's been the best clutch player in the playoffs. But, man, OKC, they just have too much. Caruso comes off the bench, makes 4 threes, and has 20 points, and is a lockdown defender. Wiggins stepped up last night, came out and had 18 points off the bench.
I think he had 5 threes, right? Or 6 threes?
I think it was 5 threes he had.
Yep.
But defensively, man, Indiana's a team who has to break the paint, right? They get that blender started, get in the paint, and then they're driving and kicking, getting easy layups, drop-offs, and things like that. And Oklahoma City, man, they keep you out of the paint. I don't believe they scored a point in the paint that first quarter.
They're on your ass. I mean, from the minute that you inball that ball, like, they're on you.
Yeah. It's like old school college style where they're picking up 94 feet. You know what I mean? They're helping. They're talking.
Well, that's the luxury of being young.
To be young and athletic, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and you're really seeing that come together, which usually doesn't. But with that team, my God, and being led by SGA, which is undeniable. Jokic is there, but I think SGA's 1B. Best player in the
Absolutely. And I think that's a consensus across the board. A lot of things that he doesn't get credit for is his defense. Like defensively, those guys, just because he goes out and scores 30 points, he's not a liability on defense. You're not hunting him out. He gets his hands on balls. He plays in the passing lane. He gives resistance. He stays in front of his guy. And so, he's just a complete basketball player.
Right. Nev?
Yeah, so my thoughts are Indiana takes back home court advantage. Very surprising. I knew they had to steal. I mean, we said it.
Yeah.
They had to steal one. They had to, or else
they literally stole one.
Yeah, they did.
Because it could have gotten really ugly. Yeah. But now, I think they got a fighter's chance, man. I really do. They got a fighter's chance. Let's say they get game 3, right? They get game 3. Big pressure swings on OKC.
Facts.
Big pressure. Changes the dynamic. You never know if you've never been in that situation.
I mean, if you're the Pacers, you're happy coming back home 1-1.
You have to be.
It's all you hoped for.
Yeah. You have to be.
To be up 2-0 going back home was not practical.
Right.
I just think it's a better series than maybe we all thought it would be.
I thought, and I said this on the show, I thought that Knicks or them, I think the Pacers would give OKC more of a series than the Knicks would. And I think we're here. Let's see what this game 3 looks like, right? Because OKC's jumped out to big leads in both games, and it happened to be that the Pacers came back and Haliburton saved them, right? But let's see what game 3 looks like. And I think game 3 is going to be an indication of what this series is going to be.
Yeah, and Hallie's been he's responded every time to adversity, right? I think in their losses he's averaging about 11 points a game, and he always bounces back. Last night he had 5 turnovers. He's had some 20-assist games with 1 or no turnovers.
Right.
So they'll be better. They'll be in their home court. They weren't terrible last night. I mean, they had 7 guys in double figures. I
noticed.
Right? Yeah, so they got a deep team. They play their brand of basketball. But I'm just saying, I just think it's the time for the Thunder.
I can't disagree with you.
Yeah, it's their time.
I mean, look forward to it. It's better finals, I think, than most anticipated.
Yeah, it is. Let me ask you a question, Katie. I've been wondering this, and I really was noticing Do you feel like it's like the same finals, like the advertisement of the finals and like the logos on the court, which they have the finals logo, but it's just the same that it was back? Cause it had like a special feeling back then. I don't see it now that way.
Yeah,
It feels kind of like, I don't know, weird.
I don't know if it's because they're smaller market teams.
That's what it
I
is.
think, you know, aesthetically, it's better when you're in the building because those buildings really rock when
Right.
you're in there, right? Those small markets that Oklahoma has and that Indiana has, they got a great fan base locally.
Right.
But they don't maybe have the sponsorship, advertising, the creativity that some of the bigger markets have. Right, so it kind of looks that way.
Yeah.
But man, it's some damn good basketball being played. Damn
unbelievable.
good basketball.
That's a
Unbelievable
great
basketball.
point, Andy.
Yeah.
Like, but you know, when you think back of the NBA, and this is when you know, Katie was a young pup before he got into his NBA dream, right? You know, when you used to see those old Lakers against the Sixers, man, and they're singing "I Love LA," going through the thing, like watching it at that time on CBS, man, it was just incredible, man. You could feel the vibe as a fan watching Jack Nicholson with the thing and the music, and I love it, and all the celebrities and this and that, and that's what you're referring to.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that.
You know, and the beat LA, and you know the Boston Psychos, and Katie played there, so he knows what that fan base is like. You know, that's what you're referring to.
You know, I even went to the finals for the Denver Miami. I went to 2 games. I went to game 3 and 4. It got killed. But anyways, I went to that. It didn't feel like how it felt back when LeBron and D Wade were here. That it felt like a finals. I don't know.
because that was a rock star phase.
Yeah.
What
Maybe
it
we'll
could
get-
be here is there's actually a nice little quote or a graphic that came out was saying that the Larry O'Brien trophy is not in half court anymore either.
Right.
So that builds to the atmosphere of how big this really is. What means to it's visually see what they're always competing for. So it builds that drive as they look down.
I think
at
I
the
see it like
court.
on the basket. You see the Larry O'Brien trophy, but you don't see it on the court like it used to. All you see is YouTube now,
Right.
Like the big YouTube signs, and then they got the finals on this side of the court and on this side of the court.
welcome,
But it doesn't.
welcome to marketing in the year of 2025.
Right. Even the logo, the Larry O'Brien trophy used to sit right here. Now it's a sponsorship. Now it's sitting back here where you can barely see it, which is crazy to me.
Yeah. Well, that's
It's money. I know it's all
And
about money.
we're
to
in-
kind of add to the point here, and it's a little sidetrack, but WWE had the same issue when the previous owner, which was McMahon, he never allowed any sponsorships on the canvas of the wrestling ring. And now people complained that all you saw was sponsorships all over the ring, and it didn't give the same atmosphere as you just see the WWF logo in the center, and everybody sees it, and everybody's
It's almost
okay.
like too commercialized. I don't
Yes.
know. What would you-
I
what
I mean,
would
is
you-
it
yeah.
is there any difference to the NFL or anything else?
Right.
This is the world we live in, man. Everything is a marketing. I mean, you're wearing a hat on your head,
Yeah.
right? Like, what do you?
It used to be the only show in town, right? Now you can, see these guys on social media. You know what I mean? Like they're so much more reachable and touchable,
So,
and
the
so
world
much
is
more
branded.
access to the guys that you kind of lose some of the mystique a little bit.
Right, and it's not what I'm accustomed to. We'll get used to it. That's the way things go. But
Yeah.
we'll get used to it. All right, moving on to tennis. This show is brought to you by BTN Connect, powered by Athlete Narrative. Parents, you're probably spending thousands and thousands of dollars trying to get your kid recruited and going nowhere fast. But with this app for $15 a month, solves all the headaches that you're going through. And this app is backed by AI, which saves you a ton of time, and you don't have to write manually and trying to track these coaches down. Be sure to hit the link in our description or in our bio. So some must-see tennis played this weekend.
Absolutely.
You had Coco Gauff, local flavor. She wins her first French Open. Just an unbelievable player at her age of 21.
Yeah.
It's got a couple majors already. What are your thoughts, KD? Because I know your daughter played tennis at a very high level.
Yeah, just seeing like her like vision board and her like writing out and manifesting that, like showing that attention to detail, just playing a lot of worthy opponents. And like, man, Coco like is a Florida girl, right? I know her parents, and I've been watching her on her ascend to greatness for years, and it's like she's getting over the hump now. Like she's coming into her prime. And I think tennis is going to be, benefit from having her be in her prime.
Absolutely, she's fun to watch. If anybody's ever watched her play,
She get to everything, bro. She fast, man.
It's not the best technique in the world, but she's just so athletically gifted that
She's
she
a
gets
gazelle,
everything.
man.
Yeah.
She's a gazelle.
Yeah.
Like that's what she is.
She flies, man.
My backyard. She's my next door neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coco,
Celebrate,
she's
girl.
something, man. She put in work. It was great on the men's and the women's side. This French
Carlos
Open was
Alcaraz wins his second, French Open. Just what an unbelievable start to a career.
Yeah.
What this kid is doing.
It's great.
The level he's playing at.
Generational, man. Listen, we've seen it. We've seen it over the course of time. It becomes one guy's era, next guy up, his era. He'll develop that that rivalry with somebody.
I think he's got it with Sinner.
You know,
him and Sinner, they go toe to toe.
Maybe that's who it is.
Yeah.
You know, Djokovic has been doing his thing for a minute on the heels of Roger Federer. So, it's the next man up. It's your baton type situation in tennis, and it's great.
It's his time. And, imagine going down, right, to the number one player and losing the first two sets and then sticking with it and grueling it out 6 hours. Like, the release that you saw him at the end of that, which was an incredible finish, by the way.
SummerSlam is one of the best matches ever.
Man, it was 6 hours. That's the endurance that those guys have, man. But one of the things I love about Alcaraz, outside of just his energy and his charisma, I like he's athletic he doesn't look like a tennis player.
No, he don't.
He's athletic like a soccer player. He's athletic like a football defensive
He's got that
back.
hand-eye.
Yeah, and
that hand-eye, man.
He is something to watch, man. It's the way that he plays, it's a fun style to watch.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I love watching that kid play. I saw him play here 2 years ago against Sinner. Sinner beat him. But that, you know what? That's going to be the next 10 to 15 years. That's going to be their fight. I don't see anybody else coming to the forefront. It's going to be them too. So it's just tennis is in a great place again.
Yeah, it is.
And a fun fact here is Nadal and Alcaraz, both aged 22 years, 1 month, and 3 days, are tied at 5 Grand Slams exactly.
Wow.
Exactly the same age, same day, and month. They both have the same
what a nugget.
accolades at this
To
time.
this point.
To this point.
Well, if he can have any type of career like Rafa, he's gonna be special. Because Rafa was,
He's on his way.
he's on his way.
He's
Rafa
definitely
was
on
like
his
Manny
way.
Pacquiao out there with that southpaw.
Yep. Yeah, he's on his way. All right, moving on to hockey. Panthers tied 1-1. First game got away from them. They could have won that game. They lost it in overtime. Then they go into game 2, into a double overtime game. They were up 4-3 with 18 seconds left. Sorry, excuse me. A little.
We all got it.
Yeah, man, I'm a little sick here. But Edmonton scored with 17 seconds left, and they tied it. And I thought, oh my God, here we go. The series is over. And Brad Marchand came and scored, and they won. I'll tell you what, it's one of the most grittiest wins I've ever seen in sports. Period. To lose the way you lost the first game, and in the second game to basically give up the lead or the tie, and go into another overtime game. And to pull that off was just incredible, and I think now they have a shot of winning that series.
And they got a heart of a champion. I mean, at the end of the day, they're a reflection of their coach. And they play hard, they play together. They always, fight back. So, I mean, they just embody kind of that South Florida mentality.
Have you seen the behind the scenes with Paul Maurice, how he talks to his guys?
No.
Oh, my God. Go on Instagram and just put Paul Maurice, and you guys are going to be laughing.
Okay. We
Yeah,
gotta
the
check
guy,
that out.
yeah, he don't play around. He don't play. He's a coach's, he's a coach's player, but he holds their asses accountable.
Mm-hmm. That's what you need.
Yeah, that's what you need. But
what you need.
man, they're definitely on their way to doing this.
Hey, they got this, man.
back to back.
Go Cats, man.
Yeah, agreed.
Go
Agreed.
Cats.
They're the shining light of South Florida, man.
Yeah.
I mean, let me tell you, I have a different view now after going to the game for the last series when they beat Carolina. Man, what have I been waiting for?
Right.
Man, it was so exciting.
It is. It's
and
fun.
Man, they are, like Katie said, man, they are the heart of the champion. And man, they're the defending champs.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not just handing
Where would
that
you
up.
rank them? I have a question for both of you guys. We're all South Florida guys, but if they were to win this cup, where would they rank all-time teams in South Florida?
I mean, that's a great question. Based on the sexiness of hockey, as opposed to basketball and football in South Florida. I don't think they rate up there with the Dolphins of the 70s, the Hurricanes of the 80s and 90s. It's really just hard to ever. And then, of course, the Heat, the Shaq first title we won, very exciting. But then I think the LeBron and the Big Three catapulted that by miles, I would say. It's hard to put them, not that they're not deserving, but it's just hard to look at them in that same panache, per se.
I mean, look, they always say Beantown, Boston is like a sports city, is a sports town. Man, we got a pretty good resume down here.
I
From
agree.
college football to NBA champions to hockey champions
Two World
to
Series,
baseball.
World Series championships.
I hope it changes for. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, like South Florida, like we've always been extremely competitive and overlooked in sports, and we just keep putting up banners,
Right.
keep having parades.
And I'd like to add one: spelling bee champion, 1980,
Okay,
sixth
Neil.
grade.
That was
Like,
rigged though.
I had it, you know.
They rigged it.
How'd you cheat? Yeah, how'd you cheat? Please
They
tell us
rigged
how
it.
you rigged it. You know, I was at Game 7 for the Panthers when they won. I'm one of those bandwagon guys. When I see that, I want to be a part of it. Yeah, man, I'm honest. Bandwagon Andy. So anyways, I was there, and I went looking for a party after. Couldn't find one. And that was an indication to me that hockey's just not that big down here.
Yeah.
And I hope that it is one day because it's a very good product that they're putting out there. And, you know, I wish we had ownership like this with the Dolphins.
Yeah.
You know?
You're right about that. I mean, it's sad because really they deserve the backing. They have a very loyal base, the Panthers. You know, that Fort Lauderdale base. Like I experienced it. You know, we ran into each other at the game, and man, I experienced it. It's
2% of the white people that live down here support it.
It's a great vibe,
The
man.
Winterbergs enjoy it.
What a great vibe, man.
Yeah.
We have some fan messages saying if the Panthers win, the Dolphins would be the third best team. The fan base is tired of the Dolphins.
Well, I mean, we hear that all the time. Like,
See,
you know.
yeah, I don't know. You
but
know,
if you're a Dolphin, you're a Dolphin.
I think the city gets set on fire if the Dolphins win up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a
100%. This turns into what New York Knicks
yeah,
are for the New
They'll
York.
flip the script quick.
Yeah.
I can see Lazo like on a telephone
Oh yeah,
pole.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
How'd that guy get up there?
Going streaking.
Yeah, if the Dolphins win, it'll be it'll be chaos. It'll be
Yeah.
a week, nobody going to work, shut down your businesses because nobody's showing up. It's
Yeah.
just.
But it's not to
different-
minimize, you know, what the
No, it's
Panthers are
not.
doing.
It's not.
Definitely not.
It's just
we
unbelievable what
respect
they're
them, we
doing, but-
appreciate them, and things
Yeah.
like that. But like, you got a lot of history there with the Dolphins.
Yep.
So you got 4, 5, 6 generations of fans, family, fans.
So let me
that-
throw this hypothetical. Let's say they would have won that first one when they came from the 8th seed and they played Vegas. They got crushed in that series. They were hurt. They would have done, a three-peat. Does that change the conversation in your mind?
No.
Hockey cannot be bigger in
Ever.
South
Ever.
Florida
Ever.
than
They could
than
win.
basketball.
They could
nor
win
football.
20 in a row.
Yeah.
And
It just-
no, man.
I mean, it just is what it is.
Well,
dude.
like
Yeah.
ask the same question. Ask the same question about like, not that the state of Alabama has a lot going on in general, but
Where are we going with this?
let me not digress. So, like, if they won anything other than
Can you see their sister?
college football for Roll Tide,
Yep.
how are they looked at in the eyes of
Yeah.
like certain things just run the show.
Yeah.
And in South Florida, man, football's going to always be king of the hill and top dog.
Right.
It's never going to change. The Heat could win 5 in a row, and
I think that he have inched closer though.
they have inched closer.
Yeah.
'Cause
But
we've
let me just
become a
tell you-
basketball town.
But
I
all
mean-
it takes is one championship,
Right.
one NFL championship, and the Dolphins just
No, I know it's
They
another,
separate
I know
themselves.
they do.
This turns into what the Knicks are for New York easily.
Yeah,
just do.
yeah, I agree with that. But the Heat have inched closer, and you can tell by their attendance they have a 500 product, and They're sold out almost.
Yeah,
every game.
they got real fans.
Yeah,
They got real fans and real ownership.
Yep, exactly. So the Heat have inched closer. All right, college football, a big settlement, $2.8 billion for college athletes, getting paid back to 2016. And now the colleges can pay directly the student athlete.
Yeah.
And whoever's committed in any state that they allow NIL for high school players, now these colleges can pay these kids. Changes the whole dynamic.
Yeah.
And if you guys thought you saw some shit, get ready now.
Yeah. Oh,
It's going down.
Yep.
Yeah. So many thoughts on this topic. I'll start from one that maybe wouldn't have been my first reaction, but what's going to happen to all these other secondary sports? Women's lacrosse, men's lacrosse, go on and on and on. Because what's going to be top dog? 75% of it's going to go to football.
100%.
Basketball is certainly no slouch, right? And that's a big product, especially with the blue bloods, right? The Kentucky, the Carolina, Dukes, Kansas, you name it, UCLA's, whoever, Michigan, wherever you want to go with that. So they're going to be like, why are we not getting ours, right? Okay. You're going to have a lot of different sports fighting over a crumb. A crumb. That's where I see the biggest problem with what just took place. My thoughts.
Yeah, no, I see your point with that, but I think the pie is so big that even though secondary sports will still benefit,
They weren't getting anything before, so
yeah, because I mean, like at the end of the day, like it's not an even playing field when you generate so much money from.
Nor has it ever been.
Yeah, so
Right.
I just at the end of the day, these are the money makers. You know what I mean? I think the schools and the universities understand that now, and you can't put everybody in that one bucket, right? You got to kind of separate basketball and football because those are the lifelines for the schools now, right? It doesn't only
Drives the car.
It drives the car, but it also students want to come to your school a lot of times
As a
depending on how good your sports programs are. So I think it's all working hand to hand. They're starting to put some structure together for NIL. So you know what I mean? I think it's a good thing that they're getting some
Something
structure.
had to happen regardless.
It had to,
no
'cause it
matter
was too
no
wide
matter
open.
what. Yeah, and and like obviously, you know what my position has been always with the NCAA, especially on the heels of like what my situation was personally. And I always had a thought process that like the way I saw compensating players back then, the way I always envisioned it was everybody gets paid the same. Now not everybody. Let's just take a football program, like the top player to the bottom, everyone gets compensated adequately. What's happened now is that we're just in such a 5-star world where like the quarterback gets 10 mil. It's just there's no infrastructure, and it was put in the wrong way to begin with because the NCAA was just too greedy to ever acknowledge it until they were forced by the courts to have to address it, which started at the state level. Ed O'Bannon's situation started, which opened the door, and and this has been coming, and the NCAA. This is on their watch, the entire situation. Not to beat a dead horse over and over, but like, had they just gotten off the greed part of we're never paying the kids, we wouldn't be sitting where we are today with such, and to the benefit of the athletes. I mean,
now what does this do? I mean, the parity in college football has been obliterated, but let's now being able to pay high school kids to stay committed to you. What does that do to the parity in college football?
I don't have the answer.
Yeah,
Think about that.
I know.
Think about that. It's going to become a monopoly if they don't do something about that.
Well, it's an opportunity for coaches who might not have those big budgets to have to use their personality. You know what I mean? Have to use their resources. They have to assemble, a team, against the blue bloods, against the big time programs. It's going to be difficult, but that's where the underdogs come in sports, right? And, that's what you want. You want to have some underdogs.
Yeah, it's gonna be schools with the upperclassmen, right, that are older than the younger guys.
It's David and Goliath.
Yeah, transfer portal. Guys who might
Kind of how
not.
Florida won their championship this year.
You better be very creative on how you're gonna. A great example, 2000. When Miami went on probation in the late '90s, in the mid '90s, right? Butch Davis inherited a very horrible situation at the University of Miami, and he had to get really creative. track scholarships, Santana Moss. Certain
Yeah,
guys,
band.
you've whatever it is.
McKinney was on a band.
It doesn't
scholarship.
matter. You better be creative
Yep.
and figure it out, or else you're just going to get stomped.
Yep.
And that's just how it's going to go. And you know the Blue Bloods are going to remain the Blue Bloods, and that's not going to change. If anything, they're going to get stronger.
Right.
In my opinion.
Anything else you want to add to
No,
that?
that pretty much sums it up with that.
All right. Quick shout out to Ronaldo. I don't know if you guys watched the UEFA Championship. I don't know if you guys watch soccer or not, but unbelievable. He scored the goal to tie the game. He left at the end of the game because he had a groin issue. But they went to PKs and Portugal beat Spain in the UEFA. It was just incredible to see the joy. You know, he was crying of him winning at 40 years old and still being able to play at a high level. You're a professional athlete. How hard is it to play in your early 30s to mid 30s? 40 playing soccer and playing 90 minutes. Think about that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable, man. Too often, the endurance and the longevity category isn't celebrated enough in sports. I think because LeBron has done it at a high level for so long, you know what I mean? People don't give credit for that. But to imagine being a soccer player and having to do that, right? And all the agility and all the endurance you have to have. So, kudos
and he was
to him.
written off. In the last cup, they benched him. And he came back as a starter. I think they changed the coach, and he played the full game. And he scored the second goal. You can just tell my God, I can't believe we did this.
Maybe his last go round with it too.
Yeah.
Don't worry. And his off the field resume is unparalleled. He's a real UFA champion.
Where it counts, huh?
He get it done.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he's done okay. He's done okay. All right, guys. Well, great show.
Yeah, welcome back, Andy.
Thank you.
Yes,
Good to
sir.
be back. Hopefully I feel a little bit better next time. And sorry if I coughed a little bit, guys.
Yeah, man. Part of the game.
Yep. All right, guys.
All right, we out.
No losses, I don't do lipo. A few screws loose in the head, I'm a psycho. Promise you the bar, just as real as the bite though. Misunderstood, you can call me a typo. I shine hotter than the stars in the night though. Hate the who's, don't give me a title. Flipping an asset, so I don't worry the price though. Got scratched like Bino, leave it to the tribal. I ain't even trying to try though. I can do this with my eyes closed. If I got nothing on my goals, my girl ain't plastic, she don't even recycle. All these kids just wanna be idols. All these kids just wanna be rival. I need something way more than viral. I need something way more than viral.
Gotta be something way more than idol.
Be careful not to get too close, I might just go. Might just go.
Boom, I'm like a bomb in the room. Blow up the spot, everybody gotta move. Life or death, everybody gotta choose. Life or death, not everybody gotta lose. I hear the talking, I just keep quiet. Learn to speak silent, don't yearn for violence. Was a little man, I turned into a giant. I changed the climate, every room that I'm in. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the baddest son of them all? Popping like I'm Adderall, bouncing like a basketball. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the baddest son of them all? Popping like I'm Adderall.
Be careful not to get too close, I might just go. 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 No losses, I don't do lipo. A few screws loose in the head, I'm a psycho. Promise you the bar, just as real as the bite though. Misunderstood, you could call me a typo. I shine hotter than the stars in the night though. Hate the who's, don't give me a title. Flipping in that set, so I don't worry the price though. Got scratched like Vino, leave it to the tribal. I ain't even trying to try though. I could do this with my eyes closed. We forgot nothing on my goals. My girl ain't plastic, she don't even recycle. All these kids just wanna be idols. All these kids just wanna be rival. I need something way more than viral.
I need something way more than viral. Gotta be something way more than idol.
Be careful not to get too close, I might just go. Might just go.
Boom, I'm like a bomb in a room. Blow up the spot, everybody gotta move. Life or death, everybody gotta choose. Life or death, not everybody gotta lose. I hear the talking, I just keep quiet. Learn to speak silent, don't yearn for violence. Was a little man, I turned into a giant. I changed the climate, every room that I'm in. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the baddest of them all? Popping like I'm Adderall, bouncing like a basketball. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the baddest of them all? Popping like I'm Adderall.
Be careful not to get too close, I might just go.